Please welcome Red Hat President and Chief Executive Officer, Matt Hicks.
Welcome to Red Hat Summit 2025. This is our favorite week of the year, and it's great to have so many customers and partners here with us in Boston. There's so much to learn this week, and we hope that each of you can come away with a new insight to improve your business, yourself, and hopefully strengthen one of the things that brings many of us here: open source. Now, last year, we talked about the amazing potential with AI, how open source could positively impact it, and how you could start experimenting with this transformative technology. And since then, the pace has only accelerated to the point where we are now operating in a space between the known and this new world that is rapidly emerging. Now, I recognize that AI brings both excitement and fear. Excitement in automating routine tasks and unlocking amazing possibilities. Fear in that we're unsure how much of our core value is intertwined with those routine tasks. And we're worried that some of our identity might go away with it. At Red Hat, we want to help you chart a course where the excitement and the potential of AI can overcome the fear. This isn't about replacing your expertise. This is about amplifying it. I recently had to explain this tension to my 10-year-old son who loves basketball. This is how I explained it to him. Imagine a new sports drink comes out, and when you drink it, every shot you take goes in. How would this change the world of basketball? Now, an extreme position is it would kill the world of basketball. How can you have competition when a middle schooler could shoot better than Steph Curry? But I don't think that is necessarily true. Strength still matters. Just getting the ball to the rim from half court is no easy feat. Defense still matters. Your shot can be blocked. Speed still matters. You have to get open just to take a shot. So yes, a sports drink like this would drastically affect one aspect of the game: accuracy. But how can we possibly understand the impact on a game just by removing one factor when there are so many others in regards to height, speed, endurance, athleticism, strength? A change like that would fundamentally change the world of basketball that my son knows and loves. It would change who could be great at the game. It would change the focus of the game. It might change the rules of the game, but it would not eliminate the game. I believe we would take these factors, we would shape them into a new game, and given just the inherent creativity in people, that new game would be better. Right now, that's exactly where we are with AI. We're in the moment of uncertainty between games, between worlds. We have to simultaneously understand that while the fundamentals that we know are changing, maybe beyond the point of recognition, there are so many other factors that come into play in terms of creating true business value. While this might feel new for many of us, this isn't the first time we've experienced this in software. In fact, When open source emerged, there were a lot of people that felt the same way about it. Open source challenged how software created value, even what competition meant. It removed barriers that defined proprietary software, and it even added a new factor around collaboration being critical for success. And in that challenge, it was feared, resisted, ridiculed, attacked. And yet, last year, there were over 5 billion contributions made to open source software. Despite the fear, despite the attacks, despite the disruption, open source still changed the world of software. I felt that potential in my first experience with open source. It captured my imagination along with millions of others. It defined my career along with millions of others. Where others saw fear or disruption, I saw potential along with millions of others. That is exactly what we're experiencing with AI right now. The world that many of us know is open source and software and IT. We have shaped this world over decades, and now the rules are changing. And while that can be scary and that can be disruptive, if we take a step back, the potential is also undeniable. Now, there is certainly tension between AI communities and open source, especially in areas like intellectual property. But if we're honest, there was the same tension in these same areas between open source software and proprietary software. And there are very real challenges. For example, if AI helps you implement your idea, who does own the copyright of the result? Or with AI being trained on open source software and able to reproduce it, how do we maintain the attribution and sharing ethos that made open source function? Now, while we sometimes gravitate to these conflict areas, I believe we can't afford to overlook the similarities. Open source, at its core, removed barriers. Didn't matter where you went to school, didn't matter where you lived, how old you were, just what you contributed. It didn't limit who could learn from it. It just unlocked human potential worldwide. And I realize that any technical disruption of this magnitude, there will never be universal agreement, but I hope there's one thing we can agree on, and it's that AI can unlock human and business potential the same way open source did, because at its core, AI removes barriers. It can help you learn faster, removing barriers to knowledge. AI can help you implement your ideas, removing barriers to skills, from coding to writing to research to art. AI can help amplify your creativity, your intuition, your unique human talents. But even if you're past the fear and you're excited about using AI, our day-to-day challenges often keep us from truly leveraging it. Many of us are caught between two worlds right now. There is the world of your day job, which is constantly getting tougher as the demands of IT constantly increase. And then there's the world of the AI initiatives in your company, rapidly pushing forward, but often feeling disconnected from your day-to-day challenges. And sometimes it feels like a win and one, must come at a loss in the other, but we don't believe that to be the case. This year's summit is about breaking that cycle. Now, we're not going to find answers to all of the challenges in AI this week, but these are challenges that Red Hat is committed to tackling alongside the open source community. At Summit, you'll find workshops, sessions, forums specifically designed to help you build bridges between these worlds practically and effectively. We'll talk about advancements in RHEL and OpenShift and Ansible and how you can add to them capabilities like Red Hat AI or technologies like vLLM. We'll talk about frameworks like MCP and Llama Stack and how using them can allow more users in your organization to leverage this technology. Our work over the last year has focused on building bridges between these worlds using technologies, capabilities you already have, and AI to help you do that. Amplify the applications you rely on for your business today. Make them easier to deploy, easier to maintain, accessible to more users. Amplify your team's talents. Free up time to let them learn new skills, to explore new ideas, to orchestrate AI to make those ideas a reality faster. Amplify your impact. Confidently remove the routine. Free up your time so that you can apply more of your unique creativity. Just think of the rock-solid foundation you have already built with RHEL and OpenShift for the applications at the core of your business. And think of the automation potential you've added to that with Ansible. Now picture layering seamlessly on top technologies like Lightspeed, Red Hat AI, vLLM, not to replace what you've built, but to act as an intelligent amplifier, making every part of that existing stack more responsive, more capable. That is our goal. All of you have made open source what it is today. You have shaped this world to everyone's benefit. It's time to do the same with AI. While we might be in this moment of uncertainty between worlds, it's up to us with that same bold spirit and principles that realized open source to start building these bridges. Thank you all so much for being here and participating in this. I truly hope you enjoy this year's summit.
Please welcome Red Hat Senior Vice President and Chief Product Officer, Ashesh Badani.
Everywhere you turn, the world is running on Linux. Tens of millions of people trust Linux to power the critical infrastructure, and trillions of dollars a day is dependent on Linux. For more than 20 years, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, or RHEL, has been the trusted platform for organizations around the world. It is the heart of Red Hat's portfolio and the foundation of our core technologies. But Linux is often managed the same way it was 10 or 15 years ago. Today, we're changing that. We're giving Linux admins new superpowers that allow them to wait less and do more. That's why I am so excited to announce RHEL 10. This is the most impactful, most innovative release we've had in a long time. Let's start by painting a picture of today's Linux environments. Even with the best sysadmins, systems get behind on patching, and they can drift from the original build. And if your sysadmins are wearing multiple hats, then just deploying new Linux servers, that gets overly complicated. Now throw in the cloud or AI, and we don't really have a choice. We need to make Linux easier to manage. These are just some of the problems that RHEL 10 solves. Let's focus on 3 new areas to make every Linux sysadmin's life better. 1, image mode. 2, intelligence for Linux. And 3, security. The first enhancement is a better way to build and manage RHEL, and that's image mode. Image mode gets the problem of drift under control and makes systems as easy to update as smartphones. Under the covers, it's 10+ years of experience managing containers, but now we bring that to the operating system. With image mode, changes can be deployed or rolled back without using external snapshots. Image mode makes common vulnerabilities and exposures, or CVEs, easier to manage, build pipelines easier to integrate, and problem resolution much simpler. This means less time troubleshooting and less time in maintenance windows. But consider a real-world example of what image mode can look like. Visa selected RHEL as it looked to redefine its operating system security and agility. Modern IT environments are incredibly complex, both on the application and the operating system sides. In highly regulated environments, like the financial services and banking area where Visa operates, CVEs are a major pain point. They take up extensive resources and person hours, especially for operations teams. Visa was interested in an environment that functions like a smartphone. It needs consistent updating behind the scenes and smooth patching and a much smaller attack surface. And they wanted to be able to use the same tooling for operations as they do for development. This is what image mode for RHEL offers Visa. One pipeline, containers as the singular language, and one standardized set of tools for dev and ops. Visa will be able to quickly diagnose and roll back with limited downtime everywhere. And it builds off the existing value of Visa's years-long RHEL subscription. This container-native pipeline is supported, it's hardened, and it's secured by Red Hat's vast Linux expertise. Check out the breakout session tomorrow for some more details. Now, on to the second enhancement, intelligence around Linux. RHEL Lightspeed brings together decades of Linux experience and Gen AI to every Linux admin. It's an intelligent assistant that simplifies tasks. One exciting feature is the command line assistant, powered by RHEL Lightspeed. It's an optional Gen AI assistant available within the RHEL command line interface, where many of you live every day. It can help with tasks, so you can more easily manage, troubleshoot, and work within RHEL systems. And tomorrow, you'll get to see it in action. We're also going to take this one step further with newly enhanced Insights for RHEL as part of the Red Hat Lightspeed family. In the past, when you create a system image, you're often working with incomplete information about your security and standardization needs. Which software packages should you install? Is there something critical you're missing? And now with Insights, you get the information and advice that you need to improve security and prevent configuration problems later in the process. This helps you make informed decisions at build time and get into production faster. The third enhancement, security for Linux. We've maintained a world-class security response for over 20 years, and organizations trust their mission-critical applications to run on RHEL around the world. But the security landscape is constantly changing. Someday, encryption may go through a massive reset. That future is called post-quantum. And Red Hat is leading the charge in post-quantum security because RHEL is the first commercial operating system to ship the NIST-approved post-quantum cryptographic algorithms. The best defense to that unknown future is the right technology and a strong partner. RHEL 10 is easier to deploy, easier to manage, easier to troubleshoot, has Gen AI built in, and it's ready for the security threats of the future now. So join me here for our day 2 keynote, and we'll double-click into even more areas where RHEL is delivering innovation. But for now, let's dig into another topic that I know is on everyone's minds. You thought I was going to say AI, but I'm going to say virtualization. Okay. Just like Red Hat has a long history with Linux innovation, we also have a long history with virtualization technologies, dating back to the early 2000s. For more than a decade, virtualization was divided between the open world and the closed world. Now, some of you here may remember back in 2007, we saw the introduction of kernel-based virtual machines as a robust open source hypervisor in the Linux kernel. While the public cloud and the telcos chose open, the enterprise primarily chose closed. Both had similar technology needs, but their approach to innovation was very different. Then, as the worlds of virtualization and cloud native started to merge, the enterprise started to shift towards open. Businesses were beginning to understand that their infrastructure needed to evolve to better support existing as well as new modern cloud workloads. At Red Hat, we introduced the general availability of Red Hat OpenShift Virtualization back in 2020. We launched it as part of our OpenShift platform to unify the worlds of virtualization and cloud-native container technologies. Our goal was to rethink virtualization in a way that would let our customers move to modern technology that would take them into the next 20 years. And last year, whether you liked it or not, most of you were given a virtualization price increase that you didn't ask for. And you faced a virtualization future that became very uncertain. We told you that Red Hat wanted to be your virtualization and hybrid cloud provider for the future, and the response from the market to this message has been overwhelming. Here we are today in 2025, and organizations of all sizes across all industries are turning to OpenShift Virtualization. The number of customers trusting OpenShift Virtualization has almost tripled. We've more than doubled the number of clusters deployed in production, and we've more than tripled the number of VMs being managed by OpenShift Virtualization. We're reaching every corner of the world. From financial services to government to telco, IT services, entertainment, you name it, they're trusting Red Hat to deliver a modern virtualization solution. We have over 10 customers joining us at Red Hat Summit this week to talk about their virtualization journey with Red Hat. And now, I'm very excited to welcome one of those customers out, Sandeep Kulkarni from Ford.
Please welcome Ford Motor Company Senior Vice President and Head of Enterprise Platform Services, Sandeep Kulkarni.
Thank you, Ashesh.
Well, Sandeep, thank you for joining us at Red Hat Summit. We're really excited to have you here. Now, Ford and Red Hat, we have partnered together for over 8 years. Can you maybe take a moment to share Ford's journey with us?
Most certainly. First of all, thank you, Ashesh, for having me here. I'm very, very excited to be part of the Red Hat Summit. As Ashesh said, Ford and Red Hat go way back. We started in about 2017 with adoption of Kubernetes, followed by rolling out of OpenShift. In 2021, we started using infra as a code, CI/CD automation, focus on dev experience with cloud-native environment. 2024, we created a Ford Cloud platform which integrates public cloud with infra services and tools. This year, our focus is modernization of virtualization. Everything as a code pipeline, GitOps, ISE, policy enforcement, secrets, and certificate management. Our goal is to manage, provision everything programmatically from code commit to deployment.
Well, thanks, Sandeep. Incredible to hear about this entire timeline that you went through with Red Hat and some really, really great progress. Throughout all of this time, why did you trust Red Hat to achieve this goal?
It's a very easy question to answer, actually. So we went through multiple aspects before we trusted in Red Hat. I'll name a few of the top. I think stability and reliability comes top on my mind. Red Hat is well known for its stability and long-term support. Having predictable release cycles makes it ideal for running our production loads. Security compliance is next, which provides continuous security patches, vulnerability scanning, compliance certificates, which are, again, very important to us. Open source innovation with enterprise support blends with community-driven innovation, and enterprise-grade support orgs can leverage cutting-edge technologies like container automation and hybrid cloud tools. Vendor neutrality, it gives us the flexibility across public cloud, private data centers, and edge data center, avoiding our vendor lock-in. And last but not the least, proven track record. Long-standing reputation, trusted by many big organizations, governments, financial institutes. Overall, Red Hat has helped us improve our dev experience, app modernization, running apps like a factory model, and be AI ready with in-depth observability.
Well, I really appreciate, Sandeep, you sharing why and how you've engaged Red Hat every step of the way. We've enjoyed working with you and team, Satish, many others at Ford. But most recently, in what's been a really remarkable journey, you turned to Red Hat to support you specifically on virtualization. That was a huge effort, clearly. Can you share what that journey looked like and why you trusted Red Hat OpenShift for virtualization?
Absolutely. First of all, the journey has been extremely incredible. Let me take a step back and say, Ford started their app modernization journey about 4 years back. So, moving our loads off of traditional machines onto the containers. So we already have container as a service provided by Red Hat. So when we decided to do virtualization, it was no-brainer but to go with Red Hat OSV because of the same infrastructure going on. So some of the benefits that we realized with this was convergence of VM and containers. That reduces our complexities, enables consistent operations across cloud native and legacy app. If you look at Kubernetes native management, same automation, same observability, the GitOps workflows, it future-proofs our platform going onto Kubernetes as well as onto the OSVs. Security and policy enforcement, same set of security policies now goes across my containers and virtual machines also. And investment protection. We can now modernize at our own pace. The VMs can move into containers as and when I want, and both of them can coexist on the same infrastructure.
Well, I'm really excited about the work that you and so many others at Ford have done, excited about how we can support you in many different ways, but ultimately it all boils down to value, right? What value have you realized to date?
Multiple values. To top in my mind, ops and efficiency, cost optimization, reduction in infra footprint lowers my licensing cost, unified management with reduced toolset and simplified workflows, accelerated modernization, phase migration for legacy app, same CI/CD pipeline for developers for Kubernetes and VM, and time to market reduction. Our VM provisioning time came down drastically. a stronger security and compliance, centralized policy enforcement for virtual machines and container improves our security posture, a faster audit readiness with integrated logging, monitoring, and access control. It also makes us a future-ready platform positioned for hybrid and multi-cloud without refactoring legacy workload, empowering teams to build and operate consistently across the cloud, on-prem, and on edge.
Well, thank you again, Sandeep. Thank you for coming and sharing your story. I look forward to continue to work together.
Fantastic. Thank you so much again for having me, Ashesh.
Thank you. I've talked about our history with virtualization and the incredible growth over the last year. But we're not stopping. We're continuing to invest and innovate in this area so we can meet our customers where they are in their journey, just like you saw with Ford. Now, just a few months ago, we unveiled the latest version of OpenShift, OpenShift 4.18, which added new virtualization enhancements that improve networking, simplify storage migration, and streamline VM management. It does all of this so it's easier to manage and adapt virtualized environments as your needs evolve. And we recently introduced OpenShift Virtualization Engine. It's a new edition of OpenShift focused exclusively on virtualization workloads. OpenShift Virtualization Engine delivers a tailored option for deploying, managing, and scaling out VMs, only titling the essential OpenShift features and components required for virtualization. It includes useful features like migration toolkit for virtualization and an administrator-centric view for deploying and managing VMs. All so you can maximize the value of OpenShift virtualization while aligning with your specific infrastructure needs. So now let's hear from another customer who has trusted OpenShift virtualization for its migration journey, Emirates NBD. Emirates NBD is one of the largest banks in the UAE and has partnered with Red Hat also for over 8 years to help drive the digital transformation strategy. So when they considered a shift from traditional virtualization platforms, they turned to Red Hat. I'm excited to welcome out Nick Grimm from Emirates NBD and Red Hat's Stefanie Chiras to share some more.
Please welcome Red Hat Senior Vice President of Partner Ecosystem Success, Stefanie Chiras, and Emirates NBD Head of Cloud Compute, Nick Grimm.
Nick, thank you so much for joining us here at Red Hat Summit. As Ashesh mentioned, we've been partnering and working together for over 8 years, and we have tackled a lot together over that time. Could you share a little bit with the audience about that journey together?
Good morning. Yes, I'm very happy to share Emirates NBD's story with Red Hat. Many of you may know Emirates Airlines. That's not us. Emirates NBD is a leading financial services group in the Middle East, North Africa, and Turkey, with presence across 13 countries. The bank and Red Hat have been in strategic partnership since 2017, and it has been an exciting journey. Red Hat supported us in building our Sahab platform, meaning white cloud in Arabic. This platform is the largest private cloud in the region and has supported Emirates NBD's position as a leading financial services organization in the MENAT region. Additionally, we utilize Red Hat Enterprise Linux as the foundation for all our critical business applications, ranging from core banking through to real-time streaming.
And as a financial institution, trust from your customers is absolutely essential for, how those customers are trusting you with their livelihoods. So how has Red Hat helped establish that trust and also keep it?
Trust is a key factor in the operation of any financial institution. We need to ensure availability, reliability, performance, stability to support our customers' requirements. We are heavily dependent on our technology partners for this, and Red Hat in our ecosystem is critical to achieving this. Red Hat has been an active partner in our journey to date, with incredible support through build, upgrades, and beyond. Skills and knowledge transfer is encouraged, and this ensures that our engineers are best positioned to support our platforms. Today, 100% of our workloads operate on a hybrid cloud environment, combining both private and public cloud infrastructure. 70% of our applications is running on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat's extensive technical expertise, hands-on support, and have been critical to providing reliable infrastructure to support a wide variety of different applications.
Now, as a strong RHEL user, I hope you're excited about all those great innovations we talked about in RHEL 10.
Definitely. Yeah, I think our work together goes beyond. I think from our journey to replace the current virtualization stack started more than a year ago. We were seeking a unified platform to streamline our operations for both container and virtual machine workload. One of our main drivers for this transition was the rising cost associated with our existing virtualization technology. After careful consideration of various solutions and extensive testing, we decided OpenShift Virtualization was the right choice for us.
And this is a big undertaking and a huge decision to make. We talked earlier about trust. And why did you trust OpenShift with this journey?
We opted for OpenShift Virtualization because it built on our existing familiarity with OpenShift. I personally have had the privilege of watching the evolution from a couple of hundred containers to over 37,000 containers in production before we started our OpenShift Virtualization journey.
That's a lot. That's a lot of containers. And changing a virtualization environment is exactly that. It is a journey. Could you share a little bit about any results that you've had so far, anything that stood out to you?
Yeah, as part of our OpenShift Virtualization journey, we are migrating more than 9,000 virtual machines using Red Hat's MTV at a rate of about 140 virtual machines a night across multiple data centers. As part of our migration, we have successfully moved multiple critical applications, including core banking, payment and trading systems, and infrastructure applications, including databases.
So you definitely didn't just start with the easy workloads. No.
Yeah, OpenShift provided us with a well-known interface, reliable and consistent performance. Red Hat's strong innovation and engineering capability, excellent support, and well-defined technology roadmap provided us with much-needed certainty in a very challenging environment. We identified several key benefits since our migration to OpenShift Virtualization, and I'm happy to share these with you. These include a unified platform which simplifies communication between container and virtual machine workload, ease of management specifically for our operations teams, a consistent technology stack and workload deployment across on-premise and public cloud environments, improved infrastructure efficiency, allowing container and virtual machine workload to run side by side, which previously wasn't possible.
Right.
Reliability and uptime by design, contributing to our reliability, availability, and resilience requirements. And the last one, and probably the most exciting of all, being able to expand our use of our on-premise GPUs with OpenShift AI for future Gen AI use cases.
Nick, thank you so much. First, for your partnership, also sharing this great story with everyone here in the audience. And since you came a long way, we're going to put you to work here. I know you have a breakout session tomorrow at 3:30. What can the attendees expect to hear there?
Definitely. We've gained invaluable insight throughout our migration journey, and I'm excited to share our experience. I encourage you to join Simon and I for our breakout session, where we'll delve deeper into Emirates NBD's learnings and also anything that could be beneficial to anybody else considering a similar journey. We really hope to see you there.
It's a delight to have you here at Summit. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Now, value, like Nick just shared, starts with the foundational technology of OpenShift Virtualization and partnership with Red Hat. But that is just one piece. there is a breadth of other technology that is also vital. Our extensive ecosystem of partners are critical in helping customers deploy a full virtualization architecture that works for them and gives them sustainable agility for the future. OpenShift Virtualization brings the flexibility of running both virtual machines and containers, so you can modernize at your rate and pace without changing the platform. Our partner ecosystem brings flexibility to connect those VMs and containers to data, the edge, the rest of your data center, and to clouds in a very secure and resilient way. This includes areas like backup, disaster recovery, storage, cloud, networking, and monitoring. We work with a broad ecosystem of partners who are relevant to you, our joint customers, and many of whom are here in the room with us today, to ensure that together we deliver the solutions that you need. And the list of partners is growing daily. In fact, this week, we announced OpenShift Virtualization support on Oracle Cloud. This is the power of strengthening partnerships. We also announced OpenShift Virtualization support on Microsoft Azure. These announcements expand upon our existing OpenShift Virtualization support on Google Cloud, AWS, and IBM Cloud. So let me restate that another way. OpenShift Virtualization is now supported on-prem and on all major public cloud providers. That's right. We're very excited about this. We, along with our ecosystem partners, give you choice and flexibility in your virtualization architecture, and all built on open source. Choice in where you run your VMs, the tools, network, and storage you use, and even the choice to run containers right alongside. We put you in control of your virtualization future.
Please welcome back to the stage Ashesh Badani.
The rate and pace of change in technology is absolutely amazing and unrelenting. But one characteristic that has remained consistent is that the open solution has ultimately prevailed. With operating systems and Linux, Open won. With containers, Kubernetes, and hybrid cloud, Open won. And with virtualization and AI, we're on track to have Open win. And when Open wins, we all win. The open foundation that we've laid for the hybrid cloud will be the underpinning of openness for AI. 3 years ago, almost nobody had heard of the concept of Gen AI. It's important to remember that the platforms and architectures that you have in place for hybrid cloud are evolving and adapting to be the foundation for Gen AI deployments. Red Hat is enabling all of you to bring AI to the cloud platforms your businesses trust today. As I talk to our customers about their AI journeys, there's a broad spectrum of where they are and where they want to be. Red Hat has already worked with companies on their predictive AI and ML projects, from building autonomous driving models to predictive maintenance to new drug discovery. And for Gen AI, we're seeing early adopters beginning to scale to thousands of users and large-scale model deployments. For others, we're helping to get their first model into production. That spread is vast. With all this excitement around AI, let's be clear about something. It's projected that 30% of AI projects will be abandoned after proof of concepts by the end of 2025. So regardless of where you are in your Gen AI journey, the one constant is the end goal. Get AI projects into production quickly, deliver great model performance, and create cost-effective AI. That's how you stay out of that 30%. Now, one of the most important things we're going to highlight this morning is that there are now ways to enable new functionality and bring down AI costs in production without sacrificing reliability or choice and being open. And Red Hat and our AI partners are ready to make that a reality today. Now I'd like to invite Red Hat CTO Chris Wright to dive into that in more detail.
Please welcome Red Hat Chief Technology Officer and Senior Vice President of Global Engineering, Chris Wright.
All right, so everything changed November 2022 when the world woke up to ChatGPT. And since then, generative AI has reshaped how organizations think about their operations, innovation, and competition. AI advancements have only accelerated. Which models should I use? What hardware? Should I care about reasoning? What about agents? This new pace shows no signs of slowing, and the pressure to deliver AI wins just keeps increasing. A proof of concept is a starting point, but it's proof of success in production that really matters. All right, let's take a breath. We've been here before. Open source is the foundation of modern IT. And the same principles of open source are now creating a new wave of innovation in generative AI. Wave after wave of new open models have emerged in just 2 years, going from zero to DeepSeek during that span, providing mind-blowing gains in performance. And that acceleration continues with all these models you see behind me. And the open models have closed the gap on proprietary models for both performance and capabilities. Now, we believe that openness leads to flexibility, and flexibility leads to choice. And that's what enterprises want: choice. With AI, this power of choice creates new options for the enterprise. Every customer I speak with wants freedom when selecting their model size that meets their needs, and also in how to align models to their business data: RAG, distillation, tuning, prompt engineering, reasoning. They want options in which hardware accelerators they use from NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, AWS, Google, and IBM. And they want choice in where to run their AI workloads, from their own data centers to the public cloud or out to the edge. We say any model, any accelerator, any cloud. That's Red Hat AI. Red Hat AI is the foundation for your enterprise AI. It offers greater flexibility, reduced cost, and more control without the fear of lock-in. And Red Hat AI is engineered to help our customers build and run AI solutions with that openness and choice, from those first experiments and POCs all the way to production. It's the tools for AI development and a platform for deployment. Look, we get it. Things are moving fast. There's so much happening with AI nearly every day. And so while it feels like everything around you is changing, it's always good to have something stable to stand on. Red Hat AI is that stable foundation for your enterprise AI. Now, for the last couple years, all the headlines around Gen AI have been around building and training models. That's great for the AI labs, building large frontier models, but customers tell us their focus is on getting AI quickly into production so they can start delivering business value. And in the AI world, production workloads means inference. Inference, or the process of running a model to generate responses. This is where the real business value happens. A model is only as useful as its ability to deliver fast, cost-effective, and scalable responses. Over the past 2 years, a new open source project has really been reshaping the landscape for inference, and it's called vLLM. It's the leading open source inference server for Gen AI models. And if you're running a Gen AI model today, the chances are you're already using vLLM. One of the leading contributors to this project was Neural Magic, who we acquired at the beginning of the year. This gives me the privilege to welcome back to the summit stage Brian Stevens, my friend and former boss, who some of you may know as the prior Red Hat CTO. He rejoined us when we acquired Neural Magic this year, and Brian's going to dig into why vLLM is so important to your AI efforts. So welcome back, Brian.
Please welcome Red Hat Senior Vice President and AI Chief Technology Officer, Brian Stevens.
Right on. Great to see you.
Thanks, Chris. Wow. Well, to say coming back to Red Hat is amazing. Doesn't capture it. It's like coming home. And to be able to bring the Neural Magic team, my friends and colleagues with me, it's pretty sweet, gotta say. But this is a tech conference, gotta be talking AI, so let's go. So, vLLM started as a project at UC Berkeley under the Sky Computing Lab in mid-2023. In July, it'll actually be 2 years, so pretty amazing. The goal of the project was to solve one fundamental problem. How do we speed up the serving of large language models, what we know as LLMs? But why is this hard? We know CPUs so well. They have an enormous amount of memory on them. GPUs have tons of compute, but they have a very little amount of memory. And that scarce memory, it's got to hold these things that we call the weight of the LLM itself. But also, for each inference request that's happening inside a GPU memory, it also has to hold what is known as the KV cache, which also can be really, really large. So remember this KV cache thing, because we're going to come back to it. So there's a lot of parallels here with Linux. Just as the Linux kernel orchestrated application execution, scheduling processes, managing memory, all those resources, vLLM similarly orchestrates model execution. It's managing the scheduling of all those incoming requests, tracking token generation, model weights, those KV caches, and hardware optimization. All of this is to ensure fast, scalable inference. Linux also enabled enterprise applications to run across x86 from a variety of OEMs. And vLLM likewise enables Gen AI models to run across a diverse set of GPUs and AI accelerators. And as new, more capable LLMs come out, it's really typical for the vLLM community in Red Hat to have early access to those models so that we can code them into vLLM to make sure that we have day zero model support. And the community is very, very healthy. Lots of contributions, number of companies, universities, and individuals. And amazingly, the adoption continues to grow. Nearly 500,000 downloads in a typical week. With that, vLLM has quickly become the de facto standard for open source inference. So as Chris was saying, one of the key organizations that actually helped shape vLLM's future and what it is today was Neural Magic. At Neural Magic, we were focused on driving critical advancements in both inference acceleration and model optimization. Our commitment was to advance inference state-of-the-art, all in open source. This is why our Neural Magic team was so excited to join up with Red Hat earlier this year. We're now part of the Red Hat AI team, and we'll continue to expand our impact on the community, driving more efficient, flexible, and performant generative AI. But enterprise ready also means delivering enterprise choice. And vLLM is enabling powerful, powerful choice. Moving inference to where you need it, across the hybrid cloud, to the data center, to the cloud, to the edge, all the while enabling your choice of all these amazing hardware accelerators. vLLM already supports a wide range of accelerators, including NVIDIA Ampere, Hopper, the Blackwells that are coming out now, AMD Instinct, Google TPUs, Intel Gaudi, AWS Neuron. And one of the companies that we work closely with is AMD. And so with that, it's my pleasure to welcome Phil Guido to the stage.
Please welcome AMD Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer, Philip Guido.
Hey, Phil. So all that work that we're doing on inference, vLLM, you've been a great partner, but what do you think it's going to mean for customers?
Well, first, Brian, thanks. I'm so excited and delighted to be here. Like Red Hat, we at AMD, it's all about an open ecosystem, flexibility, and customer choice. The collaboration is a great example of what Red Hat and AMD are doing across the board, from building great virtualization container solutions on industry standard EPYC servers, high performance AI solutions, AMD Instincts, and GPUs. Together, we're helping customers make the most of their infrastructure investments. For example, moving from legacy VMware to modern AMD Red Hat OpenShift, we create OpEx savings up to 77%, including licensing costs, while reducing energy consumption and power over 71%. For AI, Red Hat's OpenShift AI platform enables Instinct customers, GPUs, giving customers what we want: flexibility, lower cost, and efficiency in inferencing across hybrid cloud. This is one of many of the collaborations that AMD and Red Hat are doing, other ecosystems and partners such as Oracle for scalable enterprise solutions.
So you can tell there's real value there, but you spend a lot of time with customers, so I think you could give us some inside baseball of what you see driving demand.
Sure. And as we look at the AI market, we see enterprises moving from, kicking the tires to really now deploying real AI, agentic AI solutions. I was at Think recently at IBM, and their data suggests that only 1% of the data is being used for Gen AI, while 90% of the data is scattered across diverse locations, formats, and platforms. That's where AMD and Red Hat share a vision of meeting enterprises where they come to play. For many businesses, they want to run Gen AI where their data is currently stored. And that's either going to be in the cloud, on-prem, or on the edge. Through Red Hat Open Source Virtualization, AMD world-class CPUs and GPUs will meet enterprises where they want to run AI, giving them flexibility, deployment of AI solutions using their legacy infrastructure, wherever the data is. And this is important because data is scattered and we can meet them where they want to do their AI journey.
So our two companies have been obviously collaborating together on vLLM. I'm an engineer at heart. That's the funnest part to me. So what do you think all this means?
Well, I know we share a deep commitment to co-innovate for our customers. We collaborate together to see the industry leaders like Red Hat, IBM, and AMD coming together upstream development, because this is where the benefits of vLLM users and reduce barriers for innovation. And just look at the advancement that we're seeing around performance and TCO savings for our customers. You know, when you look at AMD Instinct or MI300 compared to NVIDIA's H200 GPUs, the AMD GPU provides the best value and performance. Let me give you an example. Third-party benchmarking, we're seeing an average of 1.25 price performance of peak tokens across 13 AI inferencing models. Because of our memory capacity and advantages, we can run larger token batches on one GPU versus two H200. And in these instances, we are seeing up to 2.4 times price performance. Additionally, AMD Instinct's MI300 GPUs drive cloud savings. So compared to our competitors, when we power our GPUs, for example, on Azure, we save 35% or more. These are just a few examples of performance and efficiency that we're delivering for our customers. And we're thrilled about the partnership we have and able to deliver real business value to enterprise solutions. Now, I hope you all have an opportunity to check out our booth at 756. We're excited about the partnership. We're excited about what we could do to help enterprises, and we're just honored to be here today with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming. Thanks for the partnership with AMD. Can't wait to see what all this work means for our customers.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Bill. So Neural Magic has also been leading state-of-the-art advancements of the optimizations of the LLMs themselves. It's specifically a thing that we call quantization. So with quantization, what you're actually doing is you're making the models smaller, but you're keeping all of the accuracy. We optimize all of the major open weight models, and then we host them on our AI Hugging Face space under the Red Hat organization. Typically, a month is greater than 1 million downloads of these optimized models. It's crazy, but they're valuable because the coupling of this model quantization with the quantization-aware vLLM optimizations can increase token throughput by greater than 2 to 4 times. So this combination of new open models with the availability of optimized inference is truly unlocking the velocity of innovation for enterprise AI. And with that, I'm really excited to announce our latest Red Hat AI product, and the first since Neural Magic joined, Red Hat AI Inference Server. So Red Hat AI Inference Server is a pre-built, fully supported Red Hat vLLM container that gives users the ability to serve models anywhere on any hardware. AI Inference Server provides optimized Gen AI inference to deliver faster, more cost-effective, and scalable model deployments across the hybrid cloud. And it's deployable on RHEL, OpenShift, or any third-party Linux or Kubernetes environment. And it's also included as part of RHEL AI and OpenShift AI, altogether the 3 pillars of Red Hat AI. So to talk more about this, I'm going to turn it back over to Chris.
Please welcome back to the stage Chris Wright.
That's pretty cool. Thanks, Brian. I love hearing how Red Hat AI Inference Server is really helping enterprises production inference workloads. And this is one of the pillars of Red Hat AI that's helping enterprises from those POCs all the way to production. Customers appreciate that greater flexibility, the reduced cost, and more control with Red Hat AI to move quickly and get value from their AI investments. And we couldn't be happier that our partners are equally excited about it. So here with a special message is Intel's CEO of Products, Michelle Johnston Holthaus.
Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Johnston Holthaus, CEO of Intel Products. While I'm sorry I can't be there at the summit this year, I'm thrilled to join Chris Wright on the virtual stage to highlight the continued collaboration between Intel and Red Hat, especially in the AI space. At Intel, we are committed to empowering your AI ambitions with hardware and software solutions that are a perfect fit for your needs. We are proud of our collaboration with Red Hat, whose AI software stack forms the foundation of Intel AI for enterprise. Together, we want to be the foundation for unlocking the full promise of hybrid AI for our joint customers and partners. With Intel Gaudi 3 accelerators now available through leading OEM and ODM partners, as well as IBM Cloud, we eagerly anticipate collaborating closely with Red Hat, our ecosystem partners, and you to deliver enterprise-class generative AI at unmatched TCO. For over 30 years, Intel and Red Hat have demonstrated that open standards, open ecosystems, and open innovation are the keys to delivering genuine customer value and achieving your goals. The next decade of AI will be no different. Together, we're ready to build it with you. Enjoy the summit, and let's keep innovating.
In case you missed it, Michelle said that Red Hat's AI software stack forms the foundation for Intel AI for enterprise, which, of course, we love. She also highlighted how our long history of collaboration, Intel was actually one of our earliest OpenShift AI partners, and the importance of open as the key to delivering real customer value, especially for hybrid AI. So let's continue this conversation by welcoming to the stage Mati.
Please welcome Intel Corporate Vice President and Chief Information Officer, Mati Finkelstein.
All right. Welcome, I should say welcome back to the Red Hat Summit. Let's unpack Michelle's message a bit. She said, Intel has chosen Red Hat's AI stack as the foundation for enterprise AI across your Intel platforms. So tell us a little bit more about the Intel approach to enterprise AI with Red Hat, and then maybe more importantly, what does it mean for customers?
Thanks, Chris. It's great to be back at Red Hat Summit. In 2018, I was on stage with Paul Cormier talking about the business value realized through City's approach to hybrid cloud. We have come a long way. Intel's enterprise AI approach is guided by key factors. First, customers seek choice, favoring open software compatible with various frameworks and platforms. Second, our product portfolio, from Xeon to Gaudi, requires a stable, enterprise-grade platform that can be easily deployed at scale. Red Hat provides the reliability and consistency that we need and our customers expect. Lastly, both Intel and Red Hat want to enable an open ecosystem that can fully realize the value of hybrid AI on-premise, in the cloud, and at the edge. Thanks to our deep collaboration, our customers can benefit from our integrated hardware and software technologies.
Now, you've been with us on our Red Hat AI journey really from the start. Today, we've made some exciting announcements around Red Hat AI. So tell us a little bit more about how Intel is supporting these things.
Sure. Our journey, beginning with Open Data Hub, has successfully enabled Intel's AI portfolio, including Gaudi, Xeon, Core, and Arc for Red Hat AI. I'm excited about our recent collaboration, Red Hat AI Inference Server and llm-d community. As many leaders are aware, most data center workload accelerators will be deployed for inference rather than training. Making inference more efficient and scalable is a real game changer, reducing the total cost of ownership for high-performance AI accelerators. Integrating Red Hat AI Inference Server with Gaudi offers customers an optimized solution, enhancing performance and efficiency. As Michelle noted, we're collaborating with partners like Accenture to provide cost-effective hybrid AI stack for industries like financial services and manufacturing. We are committed to drive value and innovation with Red Hat AI for our joint customers.
Well, while it's great to share it here on the stage, give us a little idea of how you're going to bring this to life with customers and partners so they can embrace AI right now.
Sure. Intel is committed to fostering an open ecosystem for ongoing innovation and business value through developer programs, technologies, and community contributions. This year, we are aiming to launch 100 Red Hat Gen AI POCs and pilots. To get involved, visit us at booth 432 to sign up and check out our demonstrations of Red Hat AI on Intel platforms.
I can't wait to deliver on those 100 POCs with you, Madi. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Chris, and I look forward to connecting with many of you this week.
All right, let's take this a step further. The next step for enterprises is to really deliver AI at scale. OpenShift AI brings the rigor and discipline of application development to AI, supporting model development, model tuning, model evaluation, CI/CD pipelines, pushing models into production, monitoring them for continued efficacy, really managing that entire end-to-end lifecycle. OpenShift AI supports both traditional predictive ML workloads as well as modern Gen AI workloads. And we just released OpenShift 2.20 with some cool new features. OpenShift AI now enables distributed training across worker nodes, radically reducing the time required for those big training and tuning runs. We've also added more GPU management options, allowing you to make the most efficient use of your accelerators. And the Red Hat AI repository on Hugging Face that Brian mentioned earlier has third-party validated models from the leading model creators that have been rigorously tested by Red Hat for performance and accuracy and efficient operation on our platform. We've got Llama, Mistral, Granite, 5.4, Nemotron, and soon all these models will be available in the OpenShift AI model catalog so you can easily view, profile, and deploy a model. Now let me give you a sneak peek at how these third-party validated models work inside our model catalog. The catalog has our standard Granite models. It's also easily extensible with your company-approved models, and we're adding third-party validated models. Let's select one of our third-party validated Mistral models, get more details about it, and deploy it. From the details page, we start the deployment process, select a target project, and go through a nice flow where we can set various deployment parameters, including our serving runtime. You'll notice many available options with vLLM. We make our selection, continue to set a few other parameters, including the size of the model, server, and accelerator. Now we're ready to deploy. So we'll watch this play out. And just that simple, we have our model deployed to our environment. So I encourage you to go to the showroom floor, check this out, and then certainly attend one of our many breakout sessions we have on OpenShift AI this week. Now let's take a look at OpenShift AI in action with Turkish technology, basically the digital arm of Turkish Airlines.
Please welcome Turkish Technology General Manager, Serdar Gürbüz.
Thanks for being here, Serdar. I love the Turkish Airlines story because you were a RHEL customer, you moved to OpenShift, and then you were an early OpenShift AI adopter. So what areas were you initially looking at for AI?
Thanks, Chris. It's great to be here. And I'm really excited to share what we have been working on at Turkish Airlines and Turkish Technology. As Turkish Airlines, we are running one of the world's largest airline networks. We are flying to more countries than any other airlines in the world, and we are serving over 80 million passengers annually. So this scale brings extraordinary operational complexity, dynamic flight schedules, shifting customer expectations, and global regulatory challenges. At Turkish Technology, we are responsible for powering the digital infrastructure behind this massive operation. But we don't just manage today's systems. We are also building the next generation of digital aviation products which will shape the future of the industry. From the start of our transformation journey, we knew AI had to be at the center of that vision. Our goal was not just automation. It was to build smarter, faster, and more adaptive systems. So we first focused on domains that were both data-rich and operationally impactful. We quickly generated value in the areas like dynamic ancillary pricing, fraud prediction, and personalized campaigns, all of which were built and scaled using OpenShift platform. Then we quickly expanded into other areas like computer vision. Turnaround AI, we use computer vision to monitor ground operations in real time via airport cameras, and it helps to reduce airline delays for Turkish Airlines. So one of our top focus areas has been modern airline retailing. So we aim to move beyond static fare classes by using AI to better understand passenger behavior and deliver real-time personalized offers. So we are developing a retailing engine that enables airlines to deliver dynamic, tailored experiences across all their digital touchpoints. Alongside this, we also launched a next-generation NDC platform. It's fully compliant with IATA standards, and it is hosted on OpenShift. It provides a high-performance, flexible offer and order management infrastructure, and it allows us to decouple product development from legacy systems and accelerate commercial agility. And today, AI is not just an IT initiative at Turkish Airlines. So it's embedded in how we plan, how we operate, and how we engage with passengers. And our mission is to scale this intelligence across the entire organization.
I love that. Your experience with OpenShift and really expanding into AI into all these different areas, center of focus, AI, data-driven, looking at all the impact. How can you show us what that means for Turkish Airlines?
Yeah, actually, the impact of AI has been both measurable and transformative for us. So we have shifted from intuition-based decisions to data-driven real-time optimization. And this is not just about technology. It reflects a fundamental change in how we think, how we collaborate, and how we operate. So within just 2 years, we have integrated AI across a wide range of domains, from aircraft planning and retailing to ground operations and customer engagement. So let me share a few numbers. Our tail assignment solution matches aircraft routes based on operational efficiency, availability, and sustainability goals, and it results in significant cost savings for us. So this system has improved fuel efficiency by 0.2%. That may seem small, but at the scale of Turkish Airlines, it translates into significant cost savings and progress towards our sustainability goals. So in areas like dynamic pricing, cargo revenue management, predictive maintenance, and customer feedback analysis, our AI initiatives have started to deliver meaningful business value and unlock new commercial opportunities across the organization. At the same time, we have built an AI-ready organization, and it was very important for us. More than 200 employees, not only data scientists, but also engineers, business users, are now part of this transformation. So in short, AI is reshaping how we solve problems and how we develop products and make decisions at scale at Turkish Airlines.
I love this transformation story. I mean, honestly, this is something we're working on internally at Red Hat, and I know many of you are, so what comes next?
That's a good question. At Turkish Technology, we are expanding our vision with a strong focus on generative AI. So our roadmap centers on privacy-first, enterprise-grade applications deployed on private infrastructure. So we have seen a lot of potential use cases of Gen AI across the whole organization. and we have already delivered some of them. So let me give you some examples. A GenAI-powered chatbot for call center agents to improve our customer service. An internally hosted GPT model to empower employees with AI tools for documentation and summarization-like tasks. A self-hosted code assistant to accelerate our engineering workflows. A contract assistant to help legal and operational teams generate more secure and consistent documents easily. And we have many more. In parallel, we are designing a platform that allows our business units to create their own self-service AI assistants. And lately, we are working on MCP, which will allow travelers to complete tasks like booking, check-in, or flight status updates, and using their own AI assistants like ChatGPT, Claude, or Grok. So due to data localization strategy, all of these systems are running on our in-house GPU infrastructure. And Red Hat's OpenShift platform, with its scalable architecture and container orchestration and enterprise-grade support, enables us to execute this vision securely and sustainably. So we believe Red Hat is not just a technology provider, but a strategic partner helping us bring this vision to life for Turkish Airlines.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Serdar, for sharing your AI journey with us.
Thank you.
What a great story. I love how Turkish Airlines is innovating with AI in such a wide variety of business areas. And as you saw with this story, scaling AI into production is the key to success. So as we look to the future of OpenShift AI and the infrastructure necessary to ensure AI production environments at scale, you've got multi-tenant inference clusters running many, many models securely and efficiently. A common platform running on heterogeneous hardware, just as with Linux. And then we're leveraging the orchestration benefits of Kubernetes for AI. To continue scaling the performance of models, the state of the art is focused on something that's called inference time scaling. Now, this literally means spending more time on inference to produce a better result. Reasoning models and agentic workflows leverage inference time scaling. So the question is, how do we reduce the cost of inferencing so that we can maximize the utilization of your infrastructure? Well, I'm going to invite Brian Stevens back out here to talk about how Red Hat has really stepped up to this challenge.
Please welcome back to the stage, Brian Stevens.
What Chris just described, these new reasoning models, they're going to be a big, big challenge for data center infrastructure. Reasoning models produce far more tokens as they think. So just as Red Hat pioneered the open enterprise by transforming Linux into the bedrock of modern IT, we're now poised to architect the future of AI inference. Red Hat's answer to this challenge is llm-d, a new open source project we've just launched today. llm-d's vision is to amplify the power of vLLM to transcend from single server limitations to enable distributed inference at scale for production. Using the orchestration prowess of Kubernetes, llm-d integrates advanced inference capabilities into existing enterprise IT fabrics. We're bringing distributed inference to vLLM, where the output tokens generated from a single inference request can now be generated by multiple accelerators across the entire cluster. So congratulations to all of you. You came here to learn about the future of Linux, and now you know what disaggregated pre-filled decode for autoregressive transformers is. But to enable that, remember that critical KV cache that you're supposed to remember? I mentioned it's needed to stay inside of GPU memory for the duration of every inference request. We now have to distribute it across GPUs on other servers. And we're building a Kubernetes-based, AI-aware inference router. This intelligent router directs new inference requests towards the servers that are most likely to have that now distributed KV cache. And if we do it right, we get a cache hit, which greatly reduces the response latency of even the largest of LLMs. It is an architecture that can 10x plus inference throughput. That's llm-d, a new Kubernetes-based distributed inference platform that enabling IT to meet the diverse serving demands of both developers and business-critical workloads, all while maximizing the efficiency of the underlying hardware. We're proud to be leading the charge here, but without a community of partners and developers, open source is just a license. So while we've been working on many of the components of llm-d for a long time, we're actually launching today with the direct involvement of some of the most amazing companies in the world. AMD, Cisco, CoreWeave, Google, Hugging Face, IBM Research, Intel, Lambda, Mistral AI, and NVIDIA. So already, we're transforming llm-d from a Red Hat Neural Magic initiative to become an industry initiative. And one partner who has already put their mark on the design of llm-d is Google. So I'd like to bring up Google Cloud's Mark Lohmeyer to talk about this amazing initiative and our partnership.
Please welcome Google Cloud Vice President and General Manager of Compute and AI Infrastructure, Mark Lohmeyer.
Hey, Mark. Hi, Brian. So, Mark, Red Hat and Google, long-standing relationship, engineering collaboration, the early parts of what became containers, Kubernetes, we changed, modernized IT. I think we put the surface area on the cloud, but bring it back to vLLM and inference. What does that mean?
Sure, Brian. So first of all, thanks for having me here, and it's really great to be here with all of you. At Google, we've said that 2025 is the year of inference, and it's a tremendous time for organizations to get their AI products into the market and to really start to scale them. And so that's why our work together on vLLM is so important. Google has seen firsthand the importance of AI-aware infrastructure as we've scaled Gemini, reasoning models, and AI agents. And our cloud customers across many industries, such as retail, multimedia, and software development, are seeing up to 2 times increase in performance per dollar running vLLM on Google Cloud TPUs.
So, Google partner in crime, founding partner with us on llm-d. What do you think this is going to mean to the world?
Sure. So, the AI landscape is changing rapidly. If you look at it, we now expect the best AI models to reason out their thought process and work out the best possible answer. We also expect an AI agent that then works behind the scenes with other agents to complete complex tasks. These more sophisticated AI applications create an incredible new set of demands on the infrastructure. And while vLLM is an excellent technology, ultimately it was designed initially as a single server architecture. At Google, we've spent years developing distributed technologies that can handle thinking models and agentic workflows at a billion user plus scale. And now we're leveraging these experiences to take vLLM to the next level of scale and efficiency. Distributing requests across multiple vLLM engines, routing to underutilized engines, and distributing caching across multiple storage tiers, all to make AI applications run faster and ultimately drive down that dollars per token.
So thanks, Mark. So when someone thinks about, all the areas working together, Gemma, Google Cloud TPUs, vLLM, Red Hat Inference Server, agent to agent, what's the takeaway? What's most important?
Yeah, so I think as we've all said here, AI is moving to full production at scale, particularly AI inference. Technologies like llm-d and vLLM running across both GPUs and TPUs will help customers across virtually every industry run inference faster and more cost-effectively, enabling them to scale their business and customer base and provide a great user experience when they do that. And complementary technologies like A2A will enable robust agent interoperability across Red Hat, Google, and many other enterprise technologies.
So thanks, Mark, for being here. Enjoy the friendship. Appreciate the collaboration.
Absolutely. Thank you too, Brian. I'm really excited to get all these new capabilities into our customers' hands and continue to expand this really great partnership.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage Chris Wright.
Well, you just heard about the future platform. So let's transition into enabling developers to accelerate building applications and agents on that platform. We want to accelerate the developer's journey, making it quicker and easier to build agentic applications. Developers need a consistent, scalable way to build, deploy, and manage AI applications. Red Hat has joined forces with Meta to help drive the Llama Stack project and grow the community. Llama Stack offers a uniform set of APIs for building, scaling, and deploying generative AI applications. So to hear more about Llama Stack and our collaboration with Meta, join me in welcoming Ricardo Lopez Barquilla to the stage.
Please welcome Meta Vice President of Reality Labs Partner Engineering, Ricardo Lopez Barquilla.
Hey, Chris.
All right. Thank you for being here, Ricardo.
A pleasure.
So I got to ask, why did Meta go the open source route? And then why is Llama Stack so great for developers?
So for us in Meta, we believe that the future of AI is open source. And Facebook was built on open source, and we keep contributing to open source. We keep building on open source. And a lot of our engineers are still big contributors to that. And we also believe that Llama is part of that future of AI. But we know that a model, while important, is not all that you need. You need a framework. A framework that brings together all those building blocks that you need to build your application. And we believe that that framework is Llama Stack.
All right, so let's think about this. We're bringing Llama Stack and vLLM together. What do you see as the biggest benefits of that combination?
So Llama Stack is significantly reducing the complexity of building AI applications on-prem and on VPC. And on those environments, vLLM is a market leader and an incredibly good inference solution. So with vLLM being available via Llama Stack, and with the work that you guys in Red Hat have done to do support for Llama 4 or day 0, it is an incredibly good option, an incredibly good opportunity for people, for enterprises. And this is a moment when you need that opportunity, because a lot of us, you guys have been talking, you are moving a lot of people from POC to production. And when you move to production, you need to reassess your dependencies, your cost. You need also to look at scalability. And on dependencies, open source is the clear winner. You still have, as you guys have been talking about, freedom to deploy anywhere in any way that you want, and also you have full control of your data. And on cost, you have the Llama models, which are leading on cost, and then you have an extremely efficient solution with vLLM. So you have with that a very powerful combination. And in scalability, you guys have shown great ways to scale all these solutions.
Well, let's switch to agentic AI. They say 2025 will be the year of agents again. How does the Llama Stack help developers build agentic apps?
So in order to build an agentic solution, you need an inference solution, you need a memory solution, and also you need a tool calling. Even with all that, you're going to need to write a bunch of code to tie all that together. Llama Stack brings you all these building blocks in a simple, dependable, and scalable way. And you know, every day AI is solving problems that seem untouched. And now with all these solutions, a lot of more of you guys are going to be able to participate, and I cannot wait to see what you guys will be building.
Well, Ricardo, I got to say thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. A pleasure.
All right, well, let's continue on with agentic AI. Think of agentic AI as an autonomous problem solver. Using LLMs, AI technology, and a little upfront human input, these agentic AI systems can understand the context of interactions in real time, tap into existing tools, and then solve complicated problems. Whereas Gen AI focuses on creating a piece of content, agentic AI makes a plan, makes decisions, and takes actions to achieve an outcome. In our work with Meta on the Llama Stack project, we're helping to further enhance its capabilities for developers who are building these innovative agentic AI applications on Red Hat AI. Now, one of the key technologies that's going to propel agentic AI's growth is Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, or MCP. It has really exploded in popularity as this open protocol that standardizes how applications provide contexts to LLMs, leveraging tools implemented as MCP servers. MCP greatly expands AI agents' capabilities by acting as this standardized connector between external data sources and tools, enabling that real-time query and access to information. And this changes everything. Moving from an AI bot you can chat with to an AI agent that can understand context, access tools and resources in real time, manipulate data, and then actually make something happen as a result. So I'm thrilled to announce that we're going to deliver Llama Stack and MCP as part of OpenShift AI and RHEL AI to enable this agentic explosion and adoption and use cases. And to me, this is exciting because it means we can offer an MCP client through the Llama Stack Tools API, enabling you to integrate your choice of model with the broad ecosystem of MCP servers, empowering you to build with agentic AI. Now, this is super cool stuff. So tomorrow morning, we're going to show you how this works during our keynote. So you're definitely not going to want to miss that. I'm sure many of you are wondering, how have we been up here talking about AI for over a half an hour, and we haven't had NVIDIA? So don't worry. I'm going to fix that right now and welcome Ujval to the stage.
Please welcome NVIDIA Vice President of Engineering, AI Frameworks, Ujval Kapasi.
Hey, Chris, good to see you again.
All right. So Jensen just announced in his Computex Taiwan keynote, NVIDIA Enterprise AI Factory Validated Design. And this will really help power that wave of agentic AI innovation. And of course, we love that Red Hat AI is a part of it. So tell us how this is going to help customers.
Sure, Chris. So agentic AI is really the next big leap after generative AI. Today, LLMs generate high-quality answers to a prompt generated by a human being. But real-world tasks are more complex. And for each step of a real-world task, a human has to read the output of the LLM and then decide what to prompt it for the next step, or how to reformat the output to input to a website. And AI agents will automate this process and improve the quality of the LLMs at the same time. For instance, instead of just listing out the times when a flight is available, an AI agent will check your calendar, see when you're available, match it with the available flight times, and this is my favorite part, Chris, it'll actually go to the airline's website and book the ticket for you.
That's perfect. Working with Serdar from Turkish Airlines on that one.
Yes.
So think about how this changes, capabilities for customer service or marketing or supply chain management. It's kind of touching everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why almost all enterprises are planning to deploy AI-enabled software in the next 2 to 3 years. But these AI agentic workflows increase the amount of necessary compute. And so enterprises will need to build AI factories. To build an AI factory, you're going to need a full stack, from networking to AI software to monitoring and much more. You'll need to figure out how to size up the infrastructure requirements, pick the right software, and then deploy it all. So what Jensen announced at Computex is how NVIDIA would like to help make this easier for enterprises to build their own AI factories. So he announced the NVIDIA Enterprise AI Factory, which is a validated hardware and software reference design purpose-built for agentic AI. And we're thrilled that we are going to partner with Red Hat to bring OpenShift as a validated deployment and monitoring and management platform for the AI factory.
Love that. And I know we would both agree that engineers working together is where the magic happens, and we're doing a lot of work together upstream in vLLM, super important work. What's your view of vLLM and its future at NVIDIA?
Sure, excited to talk about that. vLLM is a great example of a collaborative open source project that frankly is rising to the moment. It reduces how long the community has to wait in order to run the latest LLM or benefit from the latest research. At NVIDIA, for a decade now, our mission has been to help make sure all open source AI frameworks are well optimized for our GPUs. Through the years, we've worked with the maintainers of projects like Caffe, Theano, TensorFlow, PyTorch, JAX, SGLang, and many others. Of course, vLLM is certainly no exception to this, and at NVIDIA, we have a team dedicated to working with the vLLM community, including Red Hat. For instance, and I'm going to geek out for a second here, the fun part, we worked with Red Hat to bring optimized pre-filled decode disaggregated serving to the latest version of vLLM. Trust me, that's a good thing. And at NVIDIA, we're focused on optimizing vLLM for our latest GPU architecture, Blackwell. Finally, NVIDIA ourselves are users and adopters of vLLM, both in our Dynamo project and the NIM runtimes.
Well, I got to say, Brian and I have been on a mission to teach about disaggregated prefill, KV cache distribution, so thank you for helping on that. Now, earlier today, Brian announced the new llm-d project. Love that you're involved. What's got you so excited about llm-d?
Yeah. We're excited to help enterprises deploy state-of-the-art generative AI models. But there are challenges. Models are thousands of times larger than they were just a few years ago. And now a single model can be implemented across 100 GPUs. Reasoning capabilities can increase the amount of tokens generated by 100 times as they think out loud. And recent models can support up to 10 million tokens of input context. That means they have to read, process, and understand for each query the equivalent of like an entire bookshelf or like 1 million lines of code.
Those are huge requirements when you put it that way. I like that you bring it into perspective like that.
Right? So the thing I'm excited about is that open source projects like llm-d have an opportunity to make it possible for enterprises to deploy these models both easily and efficiently. Personally, I'm happy and thrilled to collaborate with Red Hat and the llm-d community to share our experiences at NVIDIA from building our distributed inference Dynamo project, and to share our technology to help NVIDIA users run their inference most efficiently and get the most out of our GPUs. As an example, we worked with Red Hat to help optimize the efficient transfer of KV cache blocks in llm-d using the NVIDIA NIXL transfer library.
Well, there you have it. I really appreciate that, Ujjwal. Thanks for your time.
Yep. Thanks, Chris.
What a way to end all these discussions about AI. The future of AI is open and flexible. And Red Hat AI will be leading the way, making it easier than ever for organizations to build, deploy, and scale AI with confidence. It comes back to that choice, the choice we all want to have with AI. Any model, any accelerator, any cloud. This is the next chapter in enterprise AI, and we're excited to build it with you. Enjoy your sessions, get to the experience zone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.